Welcome back, everyone, to the Jacksonville International Auto Show. Our next guest is an award-winning author with over 20 children's books to her credit. Now, that's because she has a very unique way of using her passion for science and actually making it fun for students to learn and to use their imagination. We welcome author, chemistry teacher, and STEM advocate Jennifer Swanson. And Jennifer, you always say your mantra is science is all around us. And with all of this new technology, you must be walking around mind blown.
I was. Actually, I was like, oh my gosh, they have hybrid cars here, and they have eco-friendly things here, and they have parts of self-driving things that you can do. I was like, I should just bring my whole class here and say, okay, everybody, go find a cool technology to talk about.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, this is definitely a show for kids, too. I mean, this is great for families to integrate science and STEM programs. So what would you do? What do kids have to do here? What can they learn?
Well, I think you can walk around and see anything. I mean, you could be an engineer, like you were talking about before, the female who did cars in the garage with her dad. Why not come here and see cars and be like, ooh, I want to make that? Or how does air flow over here across the car? And or why do we have cars that can drive by themselves or can park by themselves? And maybe you can create something like that.
I'm telling you, women are coming up with this technology.
Hey,
yeah, for
I'm
sure.
sorry, flattering lighting, selfies, parking. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Don't tell me there's a man doing any of this stuff. That's why you have blow dryers and mirrors and things.
I loved your talk about the art and the colors and how you see cars not just as things that drive you along the road, but how they're beautiful and how they can be nice and accessories.
And you've focused already some of this. This is no new topic for you. Some of your books have actually featured these types of cars in your books already.
Yep, I have a book.
They're catching up to you.
And it's kind of funny because this book is like a year or two old. So some of the technology I was talking about, how it's going to come out, I'm seeing it in a car up there. I'm like, oh my gosh, they have a hydrogen cell car. That is amazing.
So now you're going to have a revised version.
Yeah, sure. I'll talk to my publisher about that, yes.
How hard is it for them to put all of this technology into one car, though? This must be difficult. I mean, all these ideas, and they conglomerate them into one car.
Yeah,
it's got to be hard.
And expensive. So if you think about how much research that goes into and the money goes into making all these things, and then you put it into the car, so it might make the car work, but if it's $100,000, who's going to buy that? So they also have to think, okay, we can put it in, but we can only use this one, and then someone will buy that, whatever. So they have to watch the cost. Plus, there's only so much space to put everything into a car. So when you're talking about like hybrid vehicles, you have, a combustion engine, a normal engine, but you also might have an electric battery. Well, you have to have a place to put that. And then you start adding other things in, and all of a sudden, like Kenny was talking, you're in this little teeny tiny car.
Yep. The last thing they leave room for is you, comfort.
Right. And nobody wants to drive in a little teeny tiny car.
Jennifer, I want to ask you this. So much of being an educator is preparing young minds for the new world when they get out.
Right.
What are your thoughts in terms of when you're teaching your kids about this technology, preparing them to say, as you move forward in your education, these are the job opportunities of the future, and here's the classes and things you need to be prepared for and taking and be doing well to be able to get a job of the future?
It is, and a lot of that has to do with STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. And the focus is turning on that now, which is really awesome. And they're talking to kids about how they need to have all of these basics in order to take these advanced engineering classes, which is where it's going to lead them down the road. And I think getting them interested in science and telling them that it's everywhere you look, it piques their interest and gets them asking questions. So you can lead them down to, hey, all right, become an engineer. You want to figure out how things work? Go do that.
But I think what you do so well, particularly in your books and when you communicate, is, okay, engineering. What am I going to do with engineering? But when you say, you see that car behind me?
Yep.
You're going to be able to either fix that car, design that car, come up with the next layer of that car, the next advancement of that car. That's what you're going to get with engineering. That gives engineering a vision of what it could be.
Exactly.
Not just math in a book.
Right, and that's what I try to do, and I try to make it fun. If you can make it fun and interesting, then kids will perk up and they'll go, oh, I never thought that I could do that. And they'll see themselves doing that. Exactly.
I like what we were talking about earlier for the NSX, the woman who was actually helping her dad in her garage. So, I mean, that's what's so cool is seeing the girls that are going into the STEM programs who are taking interest in the car show here. And I think girls are taking a little bit more interest now than boys, it seems like. What do you think?
Well, it kind of depends, yes, and I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see any kid who's interested in science. I had 3 brothers, so, I was interested in cars, sports, because that's all I ever had around me. But I know not every girl gets that. So I think it's great if they come here with their parents and they just walk around. Maybe they just think the cars are pretty. That's okay. It's a place to start. Then you start talking to them exactly what you were saying. These cars are not just pretty. They drive, 190 miles per hour, you were just saying.
And a parachute out the back to tap you. I hope so.
And if you add those little extra cool things, then they'll get excited and they'll think it's interesting.
Well, particularly with women. We heard Barbara earlier, and she's like, women influence 80% of the purchase decisions when it comes to cars. It would seem a more natural fit that women would be involved in the development of the technology and some of the luxuries of the car that they're deciding to buy.
Absolutely. And being a mom of 3, I've driven a minivan for a long time. So I feel like if they want to ask me what to put in a minivan and what not to, any of those of us who've had kids, we know that everybody needs their own TV these days, right? Everybody needs their own remote. I mean, so they should be asking us to give them input for some of that, and they do.
And I don't want to run out of time before you give us a little glimpse into the cars of the future. What else? What else is on the horizon?
Well, what I think is so cool is that they're going to come up with self-driving cars, like cars that actually drive completely by themselves. Having survived 3 teenage drivers, I figure, hey, a robot can drive pretty awesome.
Probably better than a teenage
probably
driver.
Better. And I'm so down with the parallel parking because I don't know how to parallel park. I'm not very good at it.
And when it comes to losing your keys, the biometrics of being able to fingerprint, like your
fingerprint
phone?
is what they're doing, is what they're experimenting. I don't know if they're going to go to eyes, but I think that's going to be interesting because what if you loan your car to your father, someone and they're not biometrically imprinted. So this is going to be interesting to see how the technology moves.
Well, Jennifer, thank you. And I know we can read all about it in your books before we get there. And you're going to actually be at the Amelia Island Book Festival from 10 to 5 tomorrow at the Fernandina Beach Middle School. So everybody should come out there and hear what you have to say. Stay with us, everybody. We are going to be